in the chat so I can research it because I'm going to do the research myself. I really don't believe it's been lower than in the last 20.
So I actually looked this up because they were talking about it.
This person and that person, but crime has lowered overall.
Yeah, crime.
It's the first.
That's the whole reason that he's coming.
Yes, I hear you. So I was just gonna say, if
you have a 20 minutes,
like Patty said, it's a red state, Republican governor, but governor. So it's interesting that and obviously the governor overrides the mayor with the National Guard, but it seems again continuing to send into Democratic cities there, and I hear you about mayors, the crime going down. Christine, you were saying you think the crime has not gone down, and I get it. When you're living there, it's hard to see past, the trees in the forest. But it's, like DC, there was all kinds of data that disproved Trump's claim that crime hadn't been down, even though I think multiple sources said it was down like 30% or so. But I don't know, interesting. I think this is the first state where the state governor is Republican, but the mayor is Democratic. Is a Democrat.
Oh, if everyone could join, that would be great.
The National Guard.
No, actually, we are not the first state. It was D.C. the first state, and then Memphis.
D.C.'s not a state.
He actually not a
D.C.'s not a state.
I said
that's under the president's jurisdiction.
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. is not a state.
Right, it's under the president's jurisdiction. That's why he was well in his jurisdiction. Unlike when he tried to do it for the ice, the ice raids in California, Newsom stood up and pushed back, and the National Guard had to retreat.
But to be fair to Christine, though, yes, it's dropped. I looked it up. 23% was what I said. I don't have the article up, but that's what I said earlier. But it's still one of the highest in the country, so it's still overall high.
But there's investments too. But if you look at the stats, that Memphis is actually one of the lowest paying cities in the United States as well.
But instead of 25, actually it's not that it's just dropped. It's the lowest it's been in 25 years.
Yeah.
And I just want to finish my statement, and then everybody can comment. Okay, gotcha. You can say that when I'm done. It says, and I just put if I didn't put the link in the chat, I will, but in several sources that say Memphis crime drops to a historic 25-year low.
It's like 200 plus verses.
Murder is one of the categories, aggravated assaults. So yeah, this is well documented. I think that we keep thinking that, or I don't know if y'all think that there's going to be no crime or whatever. As long as you live in a large metropolis, there's going to be some crime. And like Betty said, there are socioeconomic factors that attribute to that. So they have to do that part too. But it is at a 25-year low by all accounts.
I'm glad y'all did the research, but it's not low enough. So my national news, breaking news is that President Trump has signed a memorandum to send the national troops.
So a memorandum does not activate the National Guard. I hate to tell you that, sis. That's not how that works.
Well, they are coming. He signed the memorandum.
Because your governor.
No, they've already said that they are coming.
And your governor just hear me out, sis.
Right.
A memorandum does not activate National Guard troops. That's not how this works. Your governor has already agreed with what Trump is doing, and he is the one that is activating your guard, not President Trump. It just looks good on paper and it sounds
whoever is activating it.
Right, and I'm not denying
I wasn't saying Trump or whoever. I was just saying the National Guards are coming to Memphis. Whoever activated it.
Right, so check this out. This is where I don't agree with it, and I think a lot of people in this room don't agree with it.
You can put a Band-Aid on it. They still come.
But just hear me out, okay? When you put a Band-Aid, when they fucking do this, do you think the crime leaves? That's why you got to invest in the community.
Like, we gotta stop pretending that fucking having police officers or having National Guard around for fucking 30 days is gonna solve anything. It's not gonna solve shit.
It's not going to be for 30 days. They said, however long it takes. 2 weeks
Okay,
or
but
Right.
keep it in. Guess what
This
that means for you? Guess what that means for you as a guess what that means for you?
Coming to Memphis. What
No, I'm not against. I'm against them.
You sound like you
This is
are.
what I'm against. I'm against them not investing in the community. That's what I'm not for.
going to say, if you let me finish, of course they're not
You
going to
interrupted me when I was explaining something.
No, I was going to say.
Okay, so go ahead and keep going because you are. I'm gonna go ahead and let
No,
you.
you don't look like you were going to ever finish, but
No, I'm explaining to you what you don't
you're not going to
understand.
finish. I'm the one from Memphis. You don't know about this city.
No, I'm telling you about.
You don't know about Memphis. You've never been here. You probably never been to Memphis. You jumped on the mic too quick when I got the mic. What are you trying to do? Prove me wrong?
Let these old.
No, you
I
want
know,
to
but
prove
Christine,
me wrong.
respectfully,
But what I
Like,
wanted to finish saying,
go ahead, go.
let me finish, because every time I start to talk, before I can even get out my breaking news, Patty jumps on the mic. What's your problem? I'm the one here. I'm the one brought the news.
You don't want me to actually talk like that.
Let me just finish what I was going to say.
Please, Miss Christina, just go
But let me just say, she said that it's only going to be a Band-Aid. No, it's not going to be a Band-Aid. If you research what they incorporated in the development project that they instituted or carried out in DC is going to be the same project that they're going to bring to Memphis. And it's not going to be a Band-Aid. They're going to incorporate new policies, regulations, and things like that. So when they do leave, they said it's going to take between, if it takes 2 weeks or 2 years, they're going to go street by street over the whole city. So, yes, I'm excited about it. I'm a Memphian, and I am excited about it, and they do need to come to Memphis.
So, Miss Christina,
Let me say something. What's your culture shit?
Listen, ma'am, I'm not fraud. I'm 100%.
I'm talking about.
And a lady. I'm not a damn broad.
Okay, let me tell you something, Hudbugger. Check this out.
No, you check this out.
It costs money. It costs the state taxpayers money.
I don't think they have
Check this out. You really don't even know how much they get paid.
Look,
Number one, they got to get paid by rent. On top of that, they got to get paid travel pay. Plus, they get per diem. Per diem. It's not a fucking. It's not cheap.
What is your problem? You got something that
Don't you think that every fucking state would have their fucking National Guard fucking activated if it was cheap? It's fucking expensive. The same fucking money
don't
that the
have a
state is
heart
gonna fucking
attack,
pay for
please.
taxes,
Calm
they
down,
can
honey.
invest in the goddamn community. That's all I'm saying, you fucking clown. So long as you act like a nigga, I'm a proud nigga. Because you don't give a fuck about my life. You care about your fucking clown ass, blonde wig, pink lipstick, looking like a fucking cheeseburger. Sit the fuck down, bitch!
Hey, let me
all
say
I
something.
wanted to do was
Miss Christine.
news, and Patty has a problem.
No, she doesn't. You said a whole lot. I want to say this. You're making this claim, but there's a lot of things you said, but I'm gonna be quick about it. So this thing that you seem to be so happy about happening in Memphis, he did the same shit in California. What do you think changed here in LA and California? And California, Los Angeles is a much larger metropolitan city than Memphis, Tennessee. I can guarantee you that. So what do you think that changed?
I don't know. I don't live there.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so great. So mute up. So I can tell you what happened.
Come on, Christine, we let you talk, man.
Should've said Joe. How bad do you think George Dynamite smells?
Lisa's trying to get in there.
Hang on, the room ain't open for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you asked her a question. Miss Christine, are you good to answer that question, or you just answered? Well, you already had to answer the question.
No, she.
If everybody would just be quiet and listen, I didn't mean to put the room in such an uproar. No, I love the, you know me.
So Lisa,
I'm from Memphis. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm proud to be from Memphis.
listen, and I'm happy for you.
What was your first time? You got grown ass. What was your first on the fucking stage talking crazy?
Yeah.
Invest in education.
And Lisa, she did answer the question.
I want to know the first.
Okay, I wanna try to explain something.
Wait, Christian culture, let her answer so we can not seem like, go ahead, Miss Christine. Miss Christine from Memphis. Let them know, honey. What I'm trying to understand, what is the question?
No, she did. So Lisa, respectfully, she did answer the question. I asked Miss Christine. I said, I said, LA is a much larger metropolitan city. When Trump sent the National Guard here, what do you think happened? Her response was, I don't know. I don't live in LA. So I was about to proceed to tell her what did happen. And how it changed, and how his theatrics changed, what it changed in the city of Los Angeles. That's what I was about to get to. So let me start there. Miss Christine, it did absolutely nothing. Crime has been down in LA like it's been down in other places, but that's not to say that crime does not exist in LA. What I'm saying is, listening to you, there's this notion that you believe that there should be 0% crime in the city of Memphis. That's a great goal to pursue, but would that ever happen? Probably not, because of the systemic problems that Memphis, as well as a lot of other cities, have with low economic and disadvantaged folks. And so the hope and the goal is to improve it. But guess what? Donald Trump came in here with the National Guard a month or so ago, and it changed nothing in LA. Guess what? Crime still happened in the city of LA. So the theatrics were just what they were. They were theatrics. And unfortunately, that's the same thing that he's going to go do in your beautiful city of Memphis that you love and respect. What Patty was also trying to convey to you, there's a lot of other things that ill that city that you talk about so much, like the low medium income and education and other public services that impact the community. So until they get those fixed, which he claims he's going to do, and I bet my top and bottom dollar that he won't do, Memphis will continue to be the city that it is, riddled with crime.
So y'all are putting things on her that we never say.
Okay, hold on. Mother, can you hold on? I was about to talk. Please don't. Oh my God.
Can I respond? First of all, you don't know. Every city is different. You don't know what's going to happen once the national troops come to Memphis and they incorporate those new policies and regulations, whatever they have to offer. And, I've never been a negative-minded person. And all of that you just threw out was just negativity. I'm hoping and I'm praying that when the National Guards arrive here in Memphis, things are going to improve. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So why don't y'all just change the subject? Because I'm tired of talking about this.
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you. Once you all make me feel but I
heard you.
I refuse to take in this.
Just keep on talking. This is what saddens me, is that my people are so gullible. We have witness after witness of people that look like you. And
my people
that have said, this ain't gonna work. They tried it in the 90s in New York, and we know how it happened. We know how it went down. We know how it affected our community. But it's a large American city. They're not all that much different. So you take one model, you implement it in Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, whatever. It's not going to be too much different. What they're going to do is over police, over-incarcerate and overkill the young black population there. That's how they've done it. And if you don't see that and you don't want to take heed and listen to all of the people that are from these cities that it's been implemented in, then, I mean, okay, you have your opinion. I understand that, and I respect it. But you have to understand that this is not a new plan. It may have a new bow on it. They may describe it different, but it's been implemented before, and it wasn't good for people that look like you or me.
Yeah, can I say something quick?
Did y'all already say the point from
Let me say
Yeah, man, get them going, son.
What? I thought I was next. The fuck?
Hold on, bro. Hold on. So first of all, I just want to say something real quick. You want him to come for crime with a National Guard, but like the mayor already said, well, not the mayor, statistics that it's 25-year lower crime. So what exactly is the National Guard doing? But disarming our black folks and taking our guns, so we won't be ready for, like he said, they gonna kill us. They gonna lynch us like they been doing, you feel me? So it's fuck.
All right, so I was gonna say real quick, y'all are putting the Miss Poor Christina getting gangbanged in here without her consent, right? Like, she is someone who's saying, hey, my city has a crime problem, and I'm open to considering this to help fix the problem. What is wrong with that fucking statement, right? What she's saying is like, oh, I'm open to the idea, and I think, like, part of the problem is y'all want to shove your ideas and viewpoints down people's throats so hard, you're not even willing to consider. She's saying, my city's unsafe, my city needs help. What is wrong with saying that out loud? If she's open to help, y'all need to listen.
So maybe you need to listen more, mother, because what happened was, hold on.
You shut the fuck up.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Stop it.
Keep my ass.
Stop. Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh.
So check this out, mother. Maybe you need to listen more because I was trying to be patient with the cheeseburger at first, right? What happened was I said, look, I get it. Crime looks bad in your city, but we're not talking about something that's not factual. Just having the fucking National Guard there costs the taxpayers a lot of money. When the state activates it, where it comes from state taxpayers. This is not the federal government paying. This is the state taxes. That money could have been invested in the community. The things that they need for the community is for the long run, not for the short term. Even if they were there for 2 years, what the fuck is to do? Are they going to kill everybody that they think is poor and it could be a problem in the future? Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're looking for? Is that what you're looking for? Are we looking for fucking real solutions where kids that grew up in violent homes, they have some kind of access to mental treatment, or mothers that don't have, like these mothers that didn't learn and make their statistic and their young moms? No, like what are we looking for? Are we looking for violence? Is that what we want? Fucking a destruction of a community because they happen to grow up poor and they need the help?
So don't put my question.
That's what I was trying to explain to this goddamn cheeseburger. But instead, she wants to say, bring the fucking National Guard, have police these people, get them the fuck out my community. This is not only her community.
So my question
Let me I want to respond to Mother, because Mother,
I forgot about UON. You trying to compare Memphis to fucking Los Angeles is a ridiculous comparison. They have totally different cultures.
I wasn't trying to do that, Mother.
Different geographies, different scales, right? So this analysis is working in LA. It's going to be the same situation in Memphis. I find to be quite odd.
Well, first of all, it had you fucking listen.
And there's fucking
you would understood this.
animosity towards the
Nobody
National
was
Guard
comparing
in
Guys,
fucking
guys.
Los Angeles, right? So you can get there, but
I'm not getting mad. You're a clown. This is what, if you shut the fuck up and listen, maybe you'll learn something. What I was merely saying is this. Guess what? The same thing was trying. Guess what? LA has crime. LA has the same systemic problems that Memphis does. It did nothing. The other point I wanted to make is this. You want to say that, while we're not listening, while we don't want the best. I don't even live in Memphis. I've never fucking been to Memphis. But guess what? That doesn't take away the fact that, guess what? The thing I want in my community, I want in other communities, because those communities have any problems that this one does. The only real difference is sizes. But you're sitting here saying, we're trying to force something down our throat. No, we're not. What we're saying is this. Guess what? Donald Trump was the president in 2016, 2017. What was the crime rate in Memphis? Was he trying to do something then? How about this fucking governor in the state of Tennessee? For him to say, I need the National Guard to come, that just displays his incompetence. Why wasn't? And he gets federal funding. Why isn't he taking any of that federal funding and trying to help the city of Memphis, Tennessee?
And Christine, I would like for you to ask Mother, who is telling you, ask him, one, if he's black. Two, how many black communities has he been around? Three, is he around the black community where he lives? Four, if he hangs around black people on a daily basis. See, this is the problem. You get outsiders who have no idea about what's coming that want to pretend like they play like angel and setting you right up. Mother don't know shit about black people. Don't know shit about. I'm a black person. Excuse me. I'll let you talk, Big Sixty. So this is what happens. You get these, randos who are not black. Now we're black.
You're not black. You're
Christine. We're black. So I'm really trying to hold it with you. Just chill. All right.
Disrespectful and then expect people not to be respectful.
Motherfucking crack ass up.
Fuck up.
You motherfucking dirty ass.
Mother, relax. You guys take a deep breath.
So you get Mexican punks. You get a Mexican punk from Ohio.
Oh yeah, you want to be disrespecting people and then they gotta say I'm you while you talk shit to them.
Bitch, who gets his butt impregnated by Republicans?
You has been raped all over Atlanta.
You gotta stop playing with me. You better shut the fuck up.
I don't have enough Atlanta to talk to you.
Okay, you guys.
Mother, hold on. Mother, I'm gonna ask you one time, bitch, you can meet me and I will fuck you up, ho. I keep telling you that.
Blah, blah, blah.
I will fuck your dirty white queen ass up.
You touch me, you're going to jail.
Bitch, I'm gonna do a night for you. I'll do a night for you, open a bitch like you out. I don't mind. I got the money to get myself out. Anyway, like I was saying to Christine.
Focus. Don't pay that.
Yeah, because
I'm about to block. I'm about to bitch ass to put you out.
The room is being.
Half of the prison cell will run right through you. So you'll enjoy it.
Hold on.
See, this is the thing. He letting these crack ass queens disrespect me when I black the fuck out.
Okay, I know the room. I just want to make this announcement. Thank you, Ray, for channeling me. I guess the room is being streamed again. It was streamed last night, so I'm gonna try to play some music low in the background so you guys know what's going on. But this is something I just cannot keep trying to solve with this guy. So I'm being told the room is being streamed on YouTube. So you guys, your speech, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, Infinity.
It's getting streamed, motherfucker. You're dirty.
You wish you could. You're never gonna fuck me.
Fuck you.
You're late.
Shut up, cracker.
All right.
I don't approve of being recorded. Hello.
I don't even.
You're in the Xfinity or whatever. You're in the audience. Why would you say some stuff like that? I mean, everybody cares that they're not consented to be streamed on YouTube. All right, thank you.
I didn't give John Kipmore any permission to use my likeness, voice, anything. No, do not be recording.
I told y'all how to handle it. I back channeled y'all.
We've done it.
Back channel me.
It's not our first rodeo. We've been doing this for a minute. And obviously, if you're gonna say what you're gonna say, because it didn't happen the first time, it didn't stop the second time, nor the third time, or the fourth time. Go look at his library of stolen goods.
He's stalking us, y'all.
It's a way.
We're afraid for our life.
I don't want to be around much longer.
There's a certain way you gotta report it. It's like you gotta report it with the right,
You can't report that anonymous.
Yeah, his response was, "This is America. Do what he want to do. He's in the room. He got on blast and shit. He was like, he's not gonna stop. He's gonna continue doing what he wants to do."
I'm afraid of him.
I can do what I want to do. It's called my freedom of speech. It's called my First Amendment right protected under the Constitution.
People are very afraid. Like, I think we should get an order of protection or something. His phone number is out there. His name is out there. And we at least know he's in Illinois. So, maybe he can be reported. I'm scared to stop. He can kill me.
Darling, we're not gonna kill you. We love you. You're our number one segment. Our top theatrical performers.
Away from government intrusion. So today,
I'm running for
Texas
Congress
University
in the
students
14th
arrested
district.
After a video showing a
16th district. Whoops. Gets there in the hood.
Viral and caught the attention of election officials. The video shows
Go to johnforcongress.com.
He's dead as she bounces up and down in a dancing motion on the school's campus in Lubbock, Texas. The individual recording and the woman can be heard exchanging words, to which the man refers to her as evil. Texas Governor Greg Abbott responded to the video, which had received millions of views as of Monday morning, writing on social media, "Definitely picked the wrong school to talk the death of Charlie Kirk. Thanks, Texas Tech." And another post with a picture of the woman being handcuffed by police, Abbott wrote, "This is what happens to the person explaining Charlie Kirk's assassination at Texas Tech. Fuck around and find out." Carmen Giselle Booker, 18, was arrested Friday. A school spokesperson told News Nation she is no longer enrolled at the university following reports that she was expelled. "Any behavior that denigrates victims of violence is reprehensible, has no place on our campus, and is not aligned with our values," the spokesperson wrote. Federal law prevents Texas Tech University from commenting on individual student conduct matters. "We take all reported violations seriously and address them under the university's policy and law. We at Texas Tech are proud of our values and are not afraid to stand up for them. Strive for honor evermore, and long live the Matadors," Corey Campbell, chairman of the University Board of Regents, wrote on social media. Kirk, a conservative activist and an ally of Donald Trump, was fatally shot on the campus event Wednesday at Utah Valley State University. He has received an outpour of support nationwide, and criticism of his political stances and positive remarks about his death have been met with repercussions. Companies such as Delta Airlines, Office Depot have adjusted their social media policies in response to Kirk's death, and local and state agencies have fired employees over social media comments. My question is, do you guys feel like this is a violation of the Constitution, number one? And number two, what do you feel like this young lady should do?
Okay, so you just changed the whole entire subject, but let's go there so we can circle back to Memphis. So you guys, he asked the question to the room. So you guys who are willing and able and wanna go ahead and answer his questions so we can get back to Memphis.
Mother Bacteria, I invited you back up.
If it's a policy, a lot of schools, not only schools, businesses have social media policies, and if you don't follow social media policy, then you may have fucked yourself. But then at the same time, I do think that when people I don't like seeing on social media where they're like, I've seen comments where like people have actually said Trump's next. Like, this is like weird. Like I don't like, why would you want somebody else to die next? This is crazy. I don't agree with that shit at all. I'd be like, it's just not cool. Y'all are that's terroristic threats. When y'all do that shit, that's weird. And I ain't with that.
Now I'm not. Yeah, let's do this before we continue on. Let's make this public statement announcement. We in the 420 do not condone any murder, death, or assassination. We don't champion. We don't support it. We don't love it. None of that. Okay? So somebody was murdered, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay? Yeah. So just we're in a new space. This is a new place. And we have to be, unfortunately, you do what you want to do. Nobody's here to try to be your parents and tell you how to live your life or what to say. In a country where free speech is written into the Constitution. So you guys just do it at high risk. You guys just do whatever you guys feel for yourself.
Joe, how bad do you think George Dinehart smells?
Because we want you to be back. We want you to come back to the 420. But we're in this is a whole new space. The United States is not the United States anymore. Your rights, your civil rights, your everything is being walked on. It's being dog walked, and the dog took a shit on it, and then they rolled it up and used it as paper. So just
be aware. You know where you work. You know what you do. You know whatever. Because you know you got people in here ready to call ICE on you. Why would you think that they wouldn't call? What's his name up there? Who was on the show today? Y'all knew who I'm talking about, and just cause you some grief. This clubhouse is not a safe place either. Trust and fucking believe. Got people on here who wish you no good. So with that, welcome to the 420. Please ping in your friends, your enemies, and your family. We're gonna have a good, uneventful, informative room tonight, okay? And we're gonna shut down early tonight. It won't be now. It won't be 2 hours from now, 3 hours or 4 or 5, but it definitely won't be 11. Okay. Hey guys, everybody, welcome who just came up. Sad, Rez, Sigh, get them gone. So get them gone. You live in Memphis as well. How do you feel about? I've heard bits and pieces coming out your mouth. How do you feel about what's happening in your town?
Shit, I told you already. Shit, it's some bullshit. Like,
no, I heard bits and pieces. You get cut off, sir.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now, but they were talking over you. You weren't involved in that melee? So go ahead, get them good, get them gone.
Now I'm saying it's some bullshit. Like, damn, bro. Like, we done got to this point where these folks finna come do this bullshit. Like, bro enough said, like, the mayor already said, he did not approve of this shit. And fuck the governor and the mayor. Like, Trump ain't even called.
So how bad do you think George Dynamite smells?
I feel like it's just come in here and fuck with us for real, you know. Show us what you
Comedy
finna do.
filmmaker.
I ain't gonna lie. Man, I'm ready for the shit. I'm gonna be so honest. I'm ready.
I just wanted to jump in and to add that I was the one that brought the breaking news. I'm sure everybody had already heard about it, though. But I want everyone to know that I'm not naive, to think that even though the National Guards are coming to Memphis, that if we're going to go down to zero crime, that's unrealistic. But I am excited about the National Guards coming to Memphis. I still am excited, even though I come in this room, I get called out my name, and that's something I do not stoop that low as a lady to call anybody out of their name. I didn't call anybody out of their name in this entire room, but I got called out of my name. But you know that right there, when a person stoop that low, you know what? I just don't have words for. I don't have no respect for that type of mentality or that kind of a person at all. But back to Memphis, I am very excited about National Guards coming.
Okay, can I just ask some questions? Because you got Get Him Good, or he's gone. Okay, Get Him Gone, and yourself, and you guys on polar different sides of this. So for you, since you're born and raised, right, in Memphis?
Yes.
Okay, for you and your experience, are you saying that overall, are you just speaking of pockets in Memphis? Are you speaking of in Memphis overall? Because we had somebody in here. Oh, I'm sorry. We had someone in the sister room earlier. I don't know if you know Q. He was in there talking about, regardless of the stats, there's still a lot of crime in Memphis, and that the stats are incorrect. Are you saying this in pockets? Are you saying it's all of Memphis? Is it where you live? Is it across town?
Well, the inner city has always, in every state, going to be a higher crime rate. And that's the same way here in Memphis. There are certain areas, of course, that the suburbans, there's the urban, and there's the what you call the ghetto and the poor poverty areas. Of course, it's going to be higher in those areas, but even the most privileged areas here, which is considered Collierville and Germantown, they suffer with crime in their areas too. But of course, it's not nearly as high as it is in the inner cities. But overall, Memphis has a very high rate of crime, and over the years it has increased tremendously. As growing up as a young girl here in Memphis, I remember when we used to leave our doors unlocked and all those kind of things. But now crime has increased drastically. And of course, I mean, I'm hearing all these people's stats, but I have not done any research. I don't have the data to show where, I mean, what the crime, what the numbers are. But me here in the Memphis area, listening to people that live in every area of town, my church members, going to my family members, and people are being killed and robbed, and all kinds of things are happening in Memphis. So yes, I'm excited about National Guard coming to Memphis, and I really am grateful that President Trump has signed the memorandum to come here. So that's all I wanted to say. Of course, I'm not naive enough to think that the crime rate is going to go down.
Christine,
that's impossible.
Let him get him gone, and Christine have the conversation because they both live in the same state. Go ahead, get him.
You saying him bringing the National Guard go help Memphis? Okay, and that's some bullshit. Because I'm gonna tell you why. If they invest in more public transport so people can get to their jobs and people can go places, that's why Memphis suffer with poverty, because people don't have, like, we don't have nothing. Like, there's nothing out here, you feel me? It ain't shit. Like, if we improve the education system, like, so it can be lower crime and literacy rates, then shit will be good. Invest in infrastructure, fix the roads, put money in Mud Island. Like, we have shit to do here. There's not shit to do downtown. Like, it's not shit. They don't give a fuck. Like, I'm telling you, think the National Guard come here, like, just to, like, help the city? Fuck no, they come here to bash it. They come here to do us dirty. And you think that this crime is bad? You think this shit is bad? They just said 25 years. Like, yes, like, it would have made sense him coming shit 6 months ago, a year ago, you feel me? But he coming now on some bullshit at the wrong time. Shit, we getting shit together now. What's the point? You feel me? Like, come on.
The way I feel about it, get them gone. There can always be some improvement. And if he is coming here with the National Guard, me, like I said before, I'm always thinking on the positive side of everything, all aspects of life. I've always been a positive person. So, of course, I'm not going to feed into all this negativity. I live here in Memphis, and I'm praying and hoping that when the National Guards get here, whatever they implement here, or whatever the regulation, whatever they the policies that they're going to incorporate, of course they're not going to just come here and go up and down the street and police. They're going to develop new policies, new ways of doing things. They are going to be working with the police force. They're going to be incorporating new rules and regulations and things like that. That does take time. It's not going to be, he said, it takes 2 weeks to 2 years. So yes, I'm very excited about it. And Memphis and Chicago, everywhere can stand some improvement. So for them to for President Trump to want to come here and improve this city, I'm excited about it. And I don't care what else anybody say in here about Memphis or what. Even you get them gone. How long have you been in Memphis?
I was born and raised in Memphis. Born and raised in Fraser. You know what that's?
Yeah, I know what Fraser one of the highest rate crime areas.
Exactly.
I lived in Fraser for
exactly. And I'm telling you that whatever Fraser had going on back in the day, when niggas was pistol popping and niggas was rocking, yeah, bro, this shit ain't going on. You seen that Orange Mound shooting when 9 people died? Mass shooting. Nobody got charged with it. That was 2 years ago. Why Trump ain't come in? I mean, that was a year ago. Why Trump ain't come in? Why he ain't pull up then? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Trump ain't really, like, he ain't trying to come help us. Like, if he was trying to help us, he'll be telling these folks, come on, put a better education in our system so we can start off to a good path. You feel me? Because kids automatically start off with drugs, guns, because they ain't got no education. You feel me? Like, I'm telling you, our education system so fucked up. I just graduated last year. You feel me? I just graduated Southwest High School. When I tell you, like, ain't no high schools coming like Memphis high schools. I'm telling you, like, this shit really fucked up out here.
You said
y'all think crime.
You say why he didn't come 2 years ago. He wasn't even in office 2 years ago.
I said, why Trump? First off, this is the thing. You talk about the Orange Mound shooting, yeah, I said 2 years ago, but what about this? 6 other people just got shot at a block party on Tate Street. South Memphis. That was when Trump was president. He didn't say nothing about it.
Well, it takes time to get all these things implemented. He's trying to get here.
Your governor activates your National Guard. What do y'all not understand?
Right.
What do
Okay, so
you understand?
Christine.
When your president, it's your governor.
Right.
When your president activates the National Guard, there has to be legal justification. What he used for DC, which is totally different, it's not a C. He used public safety. What he used for California was immigration, like some kind of national security with immigration. It's your governor. It's your goddamn governor that's activating your National Guard. Stop saying Trump. There's no goddamn insurrection.
Right.
Your governor today is saying he needs them. Why didn't he need them last year?
Super weird.
Then you just say,
Y'all don't understand how the military work.
I say,
Yeah,
he does not understand it.
Y'all don't, Christine, you're talking, okay, hold on.
Go ahead, Rez.
No.
Sure, please. Go ahead.
Y'all, okay, please, because Patty is pissed and I know why she's pissed.
I don't give a
So,
damn.
Christine, I know that's the problem, Christine. You never give a damn.
You don't know me. How you gonna say never?
Because
All right, ladies, Christine, respectfully. Christine. Rez, hang on. Rez, give me 2 seconds. Thank you. Christine, so nobody interrupted you. Respectfully, please let Rez go, and then you can respond. But it's very unpleasant when both people are talking for the audience to understand anything that's being said. So respectfully, please let her finish, and then you can go. Go ahead, Rez.
Okay, Christine, I've had a discourse with you in this several times. I have, okay? And you get a little out of pocket.
Before. I never met you before. So don't make up for it. This lady has never spoken. This lady has never spoken.
Ma'am, I had a
You never
discourse
talked
with
to
you
me
before.
before.
Yes,
You never talked to me.
Okay, so you say that it's not Christine that you've spoken to, so.
Hell, you never, I don't even know you.
Okay, so you're not gonna say it no more, Christine.
She was mistaken. Please just don't interrupt her. She was mistaken, but just let her get her point of view.
Okay,
It's a lot
all right,
of people on the app.
so get them good, gone. You absolutely amazing point. And I really appreciate you and what you said, young man, because the is investment in the communities, right? It's in the infrastructure, which has never been done in Memphis and needed to be done in Memphis. Memphis needs infrastructure in school. It needs better transportation so people can get back and forth to work. But activating the National Guard is not the answer. And there's no such thing as building a policy with law enforcement. The National Guard cannot be used as law enforcement. Period, point blank, it's in the Constitution. The National Guard is Title 32. And just like Patty said, he used different reasonings. And the governor is the only one that can act the National Guard. In D.C., he activated them because he doesn't have statehood. So he could federally get away with it. He did it in California for the long. But guess what happened? They went to federal court and he was overturned.
We were paying
Okay?
They're doing great
Newsom
work.
won that case. He had no right to do that. So they had to withdraw it.
More.
This is what I'm talking about. And they're going to have to fight in what you call it. But the problem is, it's a red state.
I need to raise 3K
the
more.
governor's not going to fight, unfortunately. That's going to be the problem. So unless somebody jumps up and fights, then you're not going to have a fight. The National Guard's going to have a presence, but they're not going to be able to do anything. The most they're going to do is clean up your yard, sweetheart. They're going to walk around. They're going to look cute for about 5 seconds, and then they're going to go back, and it's not going to change your crime rate. That's the problem. That's
you know, a lot of people, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't squirm out here.
Go ahead.
But there is a lot of people in these towns, and we've heard it like every time we talk about it, from Chicago to DC to LA. There are a lot of people in these communities who are welcoming this response. Can we say yay? Can we say amen?
I get it.
All right, I just want to make sure that
Right, but it's a false sense of hope.
that's true, and we're gonna get
that
those
the
people in
cavalry's
here
coming.
though.
That's the problem. It's the but it's the oh my God, the cavalry's it's this false sense of security that people have. They think the National Guard's gonna ride in on their horses, they're gonna come and save the day, and they're gonna change something. And they don't have jurisdiction, and they don't have any way to change any policy. And it is crazy to me that people are falling for the banana in the tailpipe. That's problematic. I'm going on mute.
Okay, so I just, not trying to take any side. Okay, you next, Sandra, I see you. Not any side, but I know, remember when, and I'm not trying to take any side, but you guys start jumping me. I remember when the crime bill went down. Some of these people they see, I don't know what it is. I guess they're in their situation. They're in their community, and they're trying to say, well, God dang, maybe that is gone down. Maybe crime has gone. Maybe this won't last, or whatever the case may be. They just see relief. So I don't live in Memphis. I don't live in Chicago. I don't live in DC. But when you have people who live there, I'm just gonna give them the spin about where they live, because no one lives under my roof, and you guys can't tell me when I say the fucking pipes is leaking and whatever, and you got me going. But let them be able to speak, say what they need to say. These two, get them, and Christine live in this place. Get them has one perspective. Christine has another. In every state you go to, because we played, and I'm landing, Sandra. We played clip after, and I don't have a side. I have an opinion, but I don't have it. We played clip after clip after clip of people in Chicago, and they have a wonderful mayor, and they have an excellent governor. But then people in Chicago, they was talking about, hold the fuck up. My neighborhood look like this. My neighborhood look like that. We don't even like this motherfucking mayor. I mean, it was just crazy. And his approval rates, and I know nothing of his mayor in Chicago. No, I don't know nothing about your governor. His approval rate was double when I looked it up. First it was single digits, and then it said double digits. I'm just saying, you guys, not taking sides. I have an opinion. We're going to have the conversation, because you're going to get people in here, live there, and some that don't, that's going to be saying, yay, man, bring them in. And it's at their own peril, because I don't live there. So if I did live there, I wouldn't want the National Guard. Because you guys heard me say feel comfortable having any type of militarization of my community. But to me, in New York City, in Manhattan, down in Lower Manhattan, close to the bridge, I let other people who live in these cities speak on this. And I'm glad you're educating Miss Christine. Maybe she didn't know some of the things that you guys have offered up. Thank you so much for bringing these facts into the room. And she might see it a little bit differently once we finish with the conversation. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. And the next person up is Miss Sandra. Go ahead, Miss Sandra.
Thank you, Lisa. One of the things that Get 'em Gone said, the things that they need is to help with the kids, to have some things for the kids to do, after school programs and stuff like that. The money that Memphis is going to have to pay, Memphis citizens are going to have to pay for the National Guard is astrofucking-nominal. That money that they're getting ready to pay could be going into making some changes in the city. So I don't think she realizes that she needs to look into how much those men and women get paid. Each one. They could bring in 2,000, they could bring in 3,000, 4,000. Y'all gonna have to pay for that. You guys. So I don't know if she realizes that. And in DC, and I know Memphis is hot. The black-owned businesses in DC, when Trump brought the National Guard, literally shut down. The restaurants, the clubs, They weren't doing anything wrong. They weren't shooting up the block, but the people wouldn't come. So the tourism, Memphis is a tourist town. The tourism went to shit. Didn't nobody want to go to DC with the National Guard walking around, even if I was picking up trash in the damn park. They didn't want to be there. So it shut the city down. So now the restaurants and shit, they closed. Guess what? Trump's cronies, his little rich friends, I bet you they're going to buy that shit up real cheap and open up white restaurants. So the black restaurants are probably gone. And the other people that live there. So it is what it is. If that's what you want, Miss Christine, I hope it works for you.
F. Gray want to jump in. Go ahead, F. Gray. And then whoever said Lisa next, y'all next.
I just want to know if you played the clip from the Memphis political event. Anyway.
Oh no, I have the mayor queued up. I was just waiting because we went from one subject to the next. But yeah, go ahead, F. Gray. And thanks, Mike.
There's people on the left that can't accept the fact that the Democrats completely screwed up. And all of these people, whether it's left but particularly the right, that are hugely popular, are answering something that the Dems and the liberal left, as you know, a registered Democrat, refuse to acknowledge, and they still refuse to acknowledge this. So even though some people are saying, because of this tragedy, you're going to have more people. No, I agree with you. It's not just the tragedy. Like, that political left is completely still not looking in the mirror. Now, to land my plane on that and to move on, as an artist, I'm not for censorship. As an educator as well, I guess my question is, we're in the Wild West, where, yes, people behaved a certain way in the past. People didn't have the power to go on social media. It was news media, whether it was radio, whether it was newspapers, and they had standards, and they still do, of what they will put out there for legal and many other responsibility issues, ethical issues in journalism. But we're living in a time where anybody could pretty much go online, regardless of repercussions or anonymously, and say whatever they want, rile whoever they want up. Yes, I think who's in power gets sometimes to determine those censorship elements, but what I see as an artist is people are really not that intelligent about it. You know, when I look to certain past people who really challenge things and thought and influence people to think differently, it wasn't just political rhetoric, it was other forms. And I guess my question is in the light, not being for censorship, being for freedom of speech, in the light of we're in the Wild West of the internet, where a 10-year-old could go online and say whatever they want, whether it's 10 years old, 40, or 70, what do you want to do about it? Is this the society we want to live in? Because I'm going to just be blunt, we are in such a classless society on so many levels, and this is, to me, this is what we're doing. We're just producing this over and over again. Societies for all economic and status classes had a set of conduct. And we're, in the age of, if you want to go into the store in your pajamas, you can. If you want to go on the internet and say whatever, you can, no matter who it's going to insult. So I guess I'm sitting back listening to this, and I understand people are anti-censorship. But there were things in place in societies that control behavior to some extent.
I'm going to answer your question, and then I think a mod or two wanted to say, and the next in the queue is Christian Yerpe Sonore. I want to remind you, it's 100% factual that at least on Clubhouse, 85% of people that you see in a room just listen. Only 10 to 15% talk. So when you hear the 10 to 15% talk, which is factual, don't assume that the other 85% agree. And with that, did Ahmad want to speak before we go to Christian, your piece, and Jorge?
I do, and I think that's a really excellent point, and I think that is the crisis of our time. We are all addressing points made by the worst of us. That's just the reality. We're all, and we do it here on Clubhouse. One person comes on the stage and says something absolutely outrageous, and the whole room shifts.
Joe, how bad do you think George Diner
to debate them and to interact with them. We have moved away from discussion as a way of moving forward and solving problems, and we now like to debate as sport. It's not about solutions. And so, what do you do when all of the social media tools that we have available to us are incentivizing the absolute worst behavior? And quite frankly, there's a musculature that we're all losing about how to find consensus, because we're all learning the skill of how to win the argument and to get the most points. Like there's actual points. Right now, our kids can't read. We have like actual real problems, and we sit around all day talking past each other as opposed to each other, and we get points for that. How do we reroute that kind of behavior when that's the behavior that's rewarded?
100%. Before we move on, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Marshall, me, Denise, other mods, and other people in this room agree on a solution-oriented philosophy. And that solution-oriented philosophy starts with agreeing on common ground. If we can all agree that it is wrong to assassinate someone simply because of their words, we can stop there and move on. But if somebody, I've said it before, there's at least one person in this room who doesn't agree. There's one person in this room who says, no, it's okay to assassinate someone because of their words. You know what I say?
Wait, and can I interrupt you right there, Stephen?
In a moment you can. In a moment you can. In a moment. Some of you may say we can come to a consensus with that person.
We are fellow citizens. If this is so, we are members of some political community. If this is so, the world is in a manner a state. For of what other common political community will anyone say that the whole human race are members? From thence, from this common political community comes also our very intellectual faculty and reasoning faculty and our capacity for law. Or whence do they come? For as my earthly part is a portion given to me from certain earth, and that which is watery from another element, and that which is hot and fiery from some peculiar source. For nothing comes out of that which is nothing, as nothing also returns to non-existence. And so also the intellectual part comes from some source. Death is such as generation is, a mystery of nature, composition out of the same elements, and a decomposition to the same, and altogether not a thing of which any man should be ashamed. For it is not contrary to the nature of a reasonable animal, and not contrary to the reason of our Constitution. It is natural that these things should be done by such persons. It is a matter of necessity. If a man will not have it so, he will not allow the fig tree to have juice. But by all means bear this in mind, that within a very short time both thou and he will be dead, and soon not even your names will be left behind. Take away thy opinion, and then there is taken away the complaint. I have been harmed. Take away the complaint. I have been harmed. And the harm is taken away. That which does not make a man worse than he was, also does not make his life worse, nor does it harm him either from without or from within. The nature of that which is universally useful has been compelled to do this. Consider that everything which happens justly, And if thou observest carefully, thou wilt find it to be so. Do not say only with respect to the continuity of the series of things, but with respect to what is just, and as if it were done by one who assigns to each thing its value. Observe then as thou hast begun, and whatever thou doest, do it in conjunction with this, that being good, and in the sense of which a man is properly understood to be good, keep to this in every action. Do not have such an opinion of things as he has who does thee wrong, such as he wishes thee to have.
Krishna.
But look at them as they are in truth. Man should always have these two rules in readiness. The one, to do only whatever the reason of the ruling and legislating faculty may suggest for the use of men. The other, to change thy opinion, if there is any one at hand who sets thee right and moves thee from any opinion. But this change of opinion must proceed only from a certain persuasion, as of what is just or of common advantage and the like, not because it appears pleasant or brings reputation. Hast thou reason? I have. Why then dost not thou use it? For if this does its own work, what else dost thou wish? Thou hast existed as a part. Thou shalt disappear in that which produced thee, but rather thou shalt be received back into its seminal principle by transmutation. Many grains of frankincense on the same altar. One falls before, another falls after, but it makes no difference. Within 10 days, thou wilt seem a god to those to whom thou art now a beast and an ape. If thou wilt return to thy principles and the worship of reason, do not act as if thou wert going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over thee. While thou livest, while it is in thy power, be good. How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does of things, but only to what he does himself, and it may be just and pure. Or as Agathon says, look not round at the depraved morals of others, but run straight along the line without deviating from it. He who has a vehement desire for posthumous fame does not consider that every one of those who remember him will himself also die very soon. Then again also they who have succeeded them, till the whole remembrance shall have been extinguished, as it is transmitted through men who foolishly admire, perish. But suppose that those who will remember are even immortal, that the remembrance will be immortal. But then is this to thee? And I say not what it is to the dead, but what is it to the living? What is praise accepted as far as it is
acceptable and okay, with some exclusions. And one of those exclusions is that it's not okay to assassinate someone anytime, any reason for their words. That we don't want division on. You see, sometimes the problem with what I find with political movements is their message is too complicated. I'm not going to give examples. I believe what me, Marshall, Denise, and others are saying is a very simple message, and you're right, we don't want division in that message. It's never, under any circumstances whatsoever, to assassinate someone because of their words. And you know what? I played this earlier in the critical thinking room. This, of course, is the after party. Give me like 45 seconds.
I understand it, you know, a few hours ago. America isn't easy. America is advanced citizenship. You've got to want it bad, because it's going to it's going to say, you want speech? Let's see you acknowledge a man whose words make your blood boil, standing center stage and advocating at the top of his lungs that which you would spend a lifetime opposing at the top of yours. You want to claim this land as a land of the free? Then the symbol of your country cannot just be a flag. The symbol also has to be one of its citizens exercising his right to burn that flag in protest. Now show me that. Defend that. Celebrate that in your classrooms.
Our message is very simple, very short, and very clear. It is never, ever, under any circumstances whatsoever acceptable to assassinate somebody because of their words.
Yes, Steve. As I've watched today, my family, I think, as you know, are very in line with law enforcement, right? My husband spent over 35 years protecting our home ground here in Freeport City.
Thank you for the service.
Yep, absolutely. And to see that this, I say child because he's the same age as my son, for his father to go in and resign, put down his badge, give back his gun, he said, I can't do my job anymore today. If you follow anybody on Facebook, follow the Thin Blue Line if you want to know this type of information. But I mean, we've been in law enforcement talking to each other pretty much for the last week now. We're going to be coming right back up to Wednesday real soon. And I mean, that father is going to grieve the rest of his life because he had to make that should never for a parent have to be made. He had to call in his friends with the U.S. Marshal, let's get him in before he gets killed going in, you know, to custody. But, I mean, guys, there's not one human on earth that I would ever in my life dream of just taking out. And to watch these young kids, I've listened to friends, their kids are making like these little things on Fortnite of killing Charlie and all this stuff. These weird people out there doing. Pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to what they're saying. Talk to them because weird stuff going around, and it's very sad for our country.
You know, my opinion. You know why these types of conversations didn't happen when Brian Thompson was assassinated? I said earlier, half the people in here don't know who Brian Thompson is, but I guarantee you everybody pretty much knows who Luigi Mangione was. He was the guy that shot that CEO from the insurance company of United. That was Brian Thompson. But guess what? Brian Thompson was a quiet man. He did his job. He didn't have tens of millions of followers like Kirk had. And that's why we're having the discussions now. Kirk's a famous dude. Brian Thompson was just doing his job.
I worked for the Department of Commerce, and then I worked for IRS doing facilities management, leasing operations. May was my last month in the Treasury Department, and I'm running full-time for Congress.
Brian Thompson to really come around, but to change that opinion, you're getting it all. The message is simple. It's never, ever, no matter what, acceptable to assassinate somebody because of their words.
And the extension of that, it's also not acceptable to fire somebody because they put a quote from Charlie Kirk on Facebook. Like that is equally unacceptable. Like, we have to believe that people are free. They're free to have a different opinion than you have. They're free to have a different experience of someone. One thing that has become painfully true to me in this whole exercise is the fact that we do not have the same internet. We don't see the same clips. We don't have access to the same information. We are being pitted against each other. So, like, allow people the freedom to process their experience of someone the way they choose to. And if you don't like it, you don't have to engage with that person. But I think having a full-on witch hunt of anybody who disagreed or who found what Charlie Kirk said offensive, I feel like that is un-American. Like, I don't know. I just think we can't do revisionist history. Everybody's going to have to be honest of the points and the places that they were hypocritical, that they went too far. I think we've all kind of gone too far, right? And, like, how do we move forward? We have to just, like, there's going to have to just be some integrity, just being honest, right? And if we can do that, even with our best intentions, this is still going to be incredibly difficult because we are intentional. Our rage is being monetized. Somebody is cashing in chips right now because we're clicking on the worst, most hateful things that come across our desk. Oh
yeah. Go ahead, finish up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's it. So, like, it's like we have to be smarter than the algorithm that is intentionally pulling us apart. And I know that's not easy to do. It's incredibly hard to do. But if we don't, like, take kind of like a personal responsibility and a specific intention around that, we're going to lose a whole generation of young people. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen.
For those of you... you can. I'll be very quick, and yes, you can. You that are wondering why Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are reacting the way they are, and whether you agree or disagree, I'll tell you why. It's very simple. It's not that complicated. They're attempting to get more votes in the next election. Now, maybe you're someone who says, oh, well, it's going to backfire on them. Well, maybe it will. But they've got the research. They've got the people behind them. They've got the algorithms that Denise mentioned. And I guarantee you 100% that the reason why Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are talking the way they are is because they believe it's going to get them more votes. Period. End of story. Who wanted to go next?
It was me, Steve. I'm Miriam.
Please do.
Thanks. I wanted to quickly respond to Denise. I agree with you. But there's always a caveat to, private businesses and rules of engagement and HR policy manuals and code of ethics. So to an extent, I agree. But once you get to that point where you're an employee, there's a code of conduct, you're signing it, there are some regulations that within a business setting. However, on the flip side, you have people like Representative Randy Fine, who's actively tweeting out, I want the names of everyone on every platform, that is saying anything derogatory in any way, shape, or form, not even celebrating, just anything. I want to know who they are, and we're going to get them fired. Keep up the good work, everybody. Then you've got, and I really can't believe this one came out from Representative Clay Higgins, because I always know him to be like a hardcore constitutionalist. In fact, he's always talked about being a House rep because he believes that the House side is the protector of the Constitution. But you have somebody like him who says, hey, I'm going to, if it's the last thing I do, come hell or high water, I'm going to ban any belittling of Charlie Kirk or his death, right? The belittling of it, not the celebration of the assassination, but the mere belittling of Charlie Kirk. He wants to ban, and not only that, ban on all social media platforms. So if you're on Instagram and you say something about Charlie Kirk, then you get reported and you get banned on Facebook, you get banned on X, you get banned on Clubhouse, you get banned on Reddit, you get banned on YouTube, and so on and so on. So when you have, on the flip side, people saying that are members of Congress, it does kind of take us back to where we've been talking about, which is like the whole freedom of speech thing. So there's two sides to it. I can totally get behind a company saying, hey, if you're wearing my uniform, if you're out on a job, or if you're representing the company and you're a public face of the company, then there are some ways that we expect you to operate. But those standards of conduct apply to anything, not just one particular thing. I was actually having this conversation with my husband because we were talking about this. It was on the news that a guy got fired from his job because of something like that. But he was in his uniform and he was saying something. Now, if the company fires him just because it's Charlie Kirk, yeah, that's a problem. But if the company fires anyone who says anything that they're not supposed to do and they're representing the company, I think that's also fair game at the same time. So just wanted to show the both sides.
Can I jump in?
Can I chime into this? Marianne, it's good to hear from you again. But
hey, Brad.
There's an issue with it. And while your words are moving and your stance is logical, those exact same phrases were uttered during George Floyd, during COVID, during questionings of Fauci and stuff. Many people lost their businesses. Many people lost their homes. We had whole swath banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, after January 6th, divulge information without actually notifying its patrons or waiting to receive a warrant of its patrons' private information to the FBI so they could track down where expenditures occurred in D.C. at that time. You had a wholesale an attack that even participated by our own federal government under the FBI, the Twitter files that Elon Musk revealed, and even some of the affirmations that came up by Zuckerberg and other people who, let's be honest, are no friends of the right, but apparently now are ostracized by their own party for coming out and saying, yep, they actually had a say in this stuff, and targeting those individuals. So while your words are correct, they were correct back then, when the right was saying, hey, this is going to come, this pendulum is going to swing, and we're going to not stop. And now the pendulum is swinging. And I'm sorry, for those in the way, for those that are saying, oh, we should have level heads, it's too late, because you went all in. When people said, let's just stop here, let's have a civil discourse. You should have listened to the Miriams, the Steves, the Marshalls, back in 2019, 2020. You should have started then. You should have listened to them. 2021, nope, nobody wanted that. And now you were like perfectly fine. You were cheering it on. Got another one on Twitter. There's literally entire websites dedicated to all the people who've ever commented on so happy to get rid of somebody else. The girl getting fired from Disney's movie thing because she was a Trump person. She was removed from her career, an acting role, hasn't recovered. There's many people. There's a woman who is slandered and slammed because she was Nancy Pelosi's hairdresser. She used to own her own business. Now she works in a shop in another part of California. She lost her wholesale because people canceled her for standing up and saying, hey, I didn't entrap Nancy Pelosi. But many people fell victim to that. And unfortunately, no one's going to be ready to sit down and listen to your words until this new round of carnage is done.
I know, and it's really sad, Brad. Sorry, just 10 seconds. I agree with you, but I'll kind of end with this. Vengeance is not the solution. So at some point, this vengeance, the cycle of vengeance that keeps repeating itself in the most partisan way needs to just stop, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just want to say, Miriam you said most of what I was going to say, but I want to say in general, like I marvel at people's ability to have a lot of freedom, because I've had jobs where I've had to be extremely careful and not put my personal opinions out there. As an educator, now maybe it's because it's kids. Teachers get fired for having their Facebook profile with a glass of wine because it's insane. So I marvel at this idea that people feel that they could have ultimate freedom to say what they want, and we technically do. But there are many people in jobs without wearing a uniform that are not able to do that.
I can speak to this issue. It's part of my wheelhouse. There are federal employment laws for hiring, but most of the laws go down to the states. States are right to work states. Some states are not. I'm in California. It's not a right to work state. If any of you are concerned about whether or not you can legally be hired or fired based on what's on your Facebook, all you have to do is do a quick Google or ChatGPT search on your state and what the laws are existing currently for hiring and firing. It's a
Here's a true answer as somebody who hires. Of course, HR and other people are going to scrub your Facebook. Of course, they're going to type your name into Google and find out. They just do. Like everybody in the employment sector is going to do that. Sorry, hate to tell you this. That's the truth.
Yeah, but my bigger point was what Miriam said is that there's things that are said that aren't even as serious that I understand, Stephen. I do enjoy rooms on the weekend.
See you at Hard Rock.
You're in general, like, listen, a business could do what they could make your life miserable to get you to leave without bringing it to that point. But my main point is that
yes.
I think because we're in this age where we have the ability to go online and advertise whatever we're thinking.
Yes.
There's an illusion that there aren't going to be repercussions. And like Miriam said, yes, there are corporate.
Let me comment on that very quickly. Don't forget where you are. You're just about to go to corporate. I learned a long time ago. Actually, my dad told me this about 15 years ago. The last thing in the world you should do when you're at dinner is take pictures of your food and post them on your Facebook in real time. You wait till you get home. Why? Because you're telling the whole fucking world that you're out of the house and come rob me. Just saying.
John Kitover Slander.
Great PSA, Steve.
Thank you. I mean, look, I know I'm making light of what you and others consider to be an extremely serious situation. I don't mean to demean you or minimize it, but, well, you just have to do what's best for you. And that's all. Hi, Matt. I noticed you came in about 15 minutes ago. How's Connecticut, Matt, if you're there? If not, it's okay.
Couldn't tell you how Connecticut is. I just left Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Highway has a lot of room.
Thank you, buddy. Let's see who's new. Paul, have you spoken yet? Would you like to speak, Paul?
I'm just in listening. Thanks, though.
You got it. My pleasure. We have Matt number 2, I guess, at the bottom. Hi, Matt. You just came onto the stage. Would you like to talk?
It's great to hear your voice, Steve. That's the only reason why I'm here.
Well, thank you. A lot of people do say I have a voice from God, even though I'm an atheist. All right. It's respectful popcorn. Oh, here's a PSA for you. Those of you that may know, I just got back from a 1-week cruise in Mexico, and I had a very short conversation when I was in Ensenada with a military person who was dressed in military garb and had a drug sniffing dog as well as a fully automatic rifle. And I said, hey, does that dog only sniff one type of drug or multiple? And he said, the dog not only sniffs 5 different types of drugs, but also sniffs, and this is what he said, I kid you not, if someone has more than $10,000 in cash, And I said, you're kidding me. He goes, nope. You can sniff if you have more than 10,000 in cash in you. And of course, because the guy has a drug sniffing dog and an automatic weapon, I didn't want to further interrogate him. But what I assume is because most people who would carry 10 grand in cash have $100 bills, that if you were to carry over 100 $1 bills, the dog would probably be able to sniff that too. But I was never aware that you can use dogs to sniff out someone who has more than 10 grand in cash. There's a PSA for you. Can't, Steve. Well, according to him, Brad, you can.
So how bad do you think George
I'm
Dynamite
actually
smells?
not surprised, and let me tell you why. And by the way, I haven't looked this up on Google. I didn't research it. Maybe somebody else did. But when you carry money, I think all money is made of the same, whether it's a 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, or 100. And if you have 100 individual bills together with the human sweat and being transferred from hand to hand, I would think a dog could, but go ahead.
So dogs are just trained in the ink detection. I think he was just pulling your leg. I've never heard of a dog, and having worked with a lot of dogs over the years, and I've seen them engage, especially in the military. I've never seen one specifically be able to hit just 10,000. Usually they go by the ink because the ink is unique. The paper, which isn't really paper, but it's that scent between the cotton and linen of it is really what they target on. So they can detect it. Now a certain volume, maybe, but if I just decided to randomly take out $10,000 out of my savings and stuff it in a backpack and touch all the bills and put it up there, would the dog, and I remove, let's say, $200 of it, isn't
No, Brad. I was suggesting 100 individual bills. In other words, maybe 100 $1 bills or 100, anything over 100 individual bills, the dog can detect. That's what I think.
Steve, it's because there's trace amounts of cocaine on those bills that are $100 and over.
Oh, okay.
So when it's like a lot of them together, the dogs they pick up on the cocaine traces, the very small amount of traces of the cocaine. So any money in circulation has very, very small traces of that cocaine. So it's basically by coincidence that they land a stash of 500,000.
Well, and of course, I didn't even need to ask. The reason why he said 10,000 is because if you if you come into the United States with more than 10 grand in cash, customs requires you to declare it. I presume if you go into another country with 10 grand in cash, you have to declare it also.
I'm not surprised.
The different bills
My
use
research.
different inks. The different bills use different inks. This is something, they actually talked about this on Animal Planet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there was a show on Animal Planet like 3 years ago. They were talking about training, the dog's nose, particularly specific types of dogs, right? They're training dogs to sniff out like cancer, for example. They're training dogs to sniff out different things. The thing with the money is a little tricky, but it's because the different, it's all cotton, so it's not really paper, it's cotton, but it has something to do with the denominations using different types of ink, and they train the dogs to sniff out different types of ink.
Cool, thank you. David's new. Hi, David. You want to speak or are you good? David.
Great conversation. Was a great critical thinking room too.
Oh yeah.
And, appreciate everyone's comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Popcorn.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Violet?
Yes. Yeah, Violet.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if that would be possible. My research has been mostly into cadaver dogs because of my interest in forensic anthropology. But that research stresses the wide variety of chemical and pheromonal smells that trained dogs can be taught to recognize.
A dog's nose is about 500 times more sensitive than our human noses, right?
I heard 48 to 47. It is very sensitive.
You heard 48 to 47, and I heard 500. Okay, all right. No, I don't know. I didn't do the heavy research.
As someone who gambles, it's an interesting comment that I hadn't thought of dogs being able to sniff for money.
Are you my gambling friend, David?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
No, am I the friend you know that gambles?
I'm sorry. Did you and I exchange a couple of back channels specifically regarding gambling?
Not back channel.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, this is the John Kitover Podcast, 9/15/25, 8 p.m. show. Follow us at John Kitover IL on X. That's John Kitover, K-I-T, over I-L.
So really quickly, Steve, just because I was curious, I went to the ASPCA website, and it says that a dog's nose sense of smell is estimated to be 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours.
10,000? I thought it was just 500.
I thought it was less than that. Interesting.
Depends on the breed of dog.
Look.
Amazing.
Ooh, nada.
I, of course, have a pit bull. Her name is Coco. I got her 4 years ago during the start of the pandemic at 9 months old. Got her from the SPCA. And she's been with me ever since. And can't say enough about Coco.
Yeah, one of my dogs can sniff when my blood sugar goes either too high or too low as well. It's kind of amazing. And she was never like trained. It's just something she's able to do. When she does her thing, I go and check and she's never wrong.
There are dogs that are trained by medical professionals that can sense spikes in blood pressure and diabetes. This is a fact. And that's not
trained. But she was never trained. It's just something she naturally does. I never had her trained for that. She's not, she's not a guide dog of any kind. So she's not trained in it. It's just something she does.
Hear you loud and clear.
I think that's why I brought it up, because she did it on her own, which tells you that, smart dogs are out there.
Absolutely. Well, I'll go to the green beans. You guys want to keep this room open for a bit, or should we shut it down? We've been going for 2 hours. Let's see. JCC?
I can go either way. It's been great. I enjoyed it. And maybe it's coming to an end.
Yeah. Violet?
I myself have to get going on the school night, so
gotcha.
I will see everybody later.
Violet, can I speak to you in code for 60 seconds?
Sure.
The suggestions we talked about, have any of them been implemented? Yes or no? I'm going to guess no, not yet.
Actually, yes, we've ordered a couple of.
You've ordered a couple of suggestions, and you're looking forward to
getting them. This should be done in the group chat. Now we want to know what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that's the whole point. You're not supposed to know what the fuck we're talking about. Daryl, are you good? Should we keep the room open for a while?
It's up to you. I have homework, so it's up to you.
Yeah, Reverend Scott. Matt, we'll tell you what. I'll just go on mute, and if you guys can keep an eye, if I step away for a bit, just make sure it stays civil. Well, if anybody wants to come up, raise your hand. Brad, if you want to talk or go on a narrative.
Okay, this is Ken Conway, Congressman John.
He'll be back. Brad never runs out of energy. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I'm just working. I'm actually working, like having to pay taxes for a lot of people that want like free stuff. So, I mean, there isn't really, I mean, we can talk about dogs. I've seen them in search and rescue and in military applications. I've seen little terriers go into submarines and ship units to go search for contraband and things along those lines. We can continue talking about how everybody hates Charlie Kirk because he had an opinion. It depends. Also, this, I wish more people would actually go listen to him and listen to the context of his speeches and his engagements, and then look for the pattern and see why some things were just clipped and then put in. I mean, we've had that with notable other politicians. I mean, the left cried about that with Biden. The same thing occurred under Trump. We saw that multiple times. But, son of a bitch. That's not going to equal out right. We saw this numerous times with multiple politicians and political figures. I don't know why it's not so different with Charlie Kirk. And all of it, and even scrubbing it through AI, I cannot find, nor can anybody else, find where he asked for implicit harm to LGBTQ members, Black people, Hispanic people, etc. Give your anti-Christian people. He didn't ask a single person. He didn't advocate for any of that stuff. He didn't even ask for a restriction on rights, except for gay marriage. He did say he doesn't believe it, but that's based on his Christian reviews. And he lives in a country where that is not necessarily his views will always be the interpretation of law. But he didn't agree with the law, which he's fully entitled to do so.
Yeah, Brad, I completely agree with you. I've done a little bit of research, clearly not as much as you. And I can't find any quotes which are clearly undisputed about breaking the law or speaking up against, like, attacking or assaulting LGBTQ or preventing them from having the same rights as others. He was very intelligent, very smart, very coy, and he was very careful about his words. Someone once told me a long time ago, a lot of the time, it's more important what you don't say than what you do say. And it's more important to be aware of what you don't know than what you do know. And Charlie Kirk, I think, exemplified that. I've learned more about him since his death than I ever knew before. I used to get his emails like once, twice, 3 times a day. I just deleted them. You know, it was on my like delete list. And but very influential guy. And even though I completely disagree with a majority of his politics, I gotta respect
Joe, how bad do you think George
I just gotta
Diamond
respect
smells?
it. I'm sorry. And unless there's anything else to say, I'm going to close the room down. So if you're on stage,
Like Tyson, I'm running for Congressman Blackford, and I need your help to KO a real clown. And
all right,
Terry,
then that will be that. Thank you all. This was my very first critical thinking after party. Total success, exceeded my wildest expectations. Take care, everybody. Be careful on the clubhouse streets. And this room will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And ran to women, okay? So I'd rather be with the females in the okay. What's going wrong? You put his coochie up.
That was crazy.
Somebody told God put his coochie up.
That was terrible, whoever said that.
Hey, Ron, you got an HPL. Let me find out you an HPL, Ron.
The what?
You'll think about it later.
He don't even know.
No
You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean?
Well, at least we know he don't know what it is.
I know who I'm gonna be hiding behind when all this shit goes down. It ain't gonna be Ron. It's gonna be Red and Betty. This boy to do that.
I'm telling you, war break out, I feel good about it. Okay?
I'll be right there.
We got Patty and Red on
Red line. That's a damn fact. That is a goddamn fact. I got some breaks out. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of this. Maybe we can make some sense out of it, because I wasn't really thinking that this would hit the way it did, but obviously it has. And this Memphis thing, and listen to your president. So if you don't believe nothing I say, nothing Patty say, nothing Red say,